Today I will discuss about rheumatology. The topic is what is the pathophysiology of autoimmune disease and what is the genetic basis of autoimmune disease. We will discuss about two aspects of this autoimmune disease. What is the pathophysiology of autoimmune disease? Central clinical feature of the immune system is the capacity to mount an inflammatory response to potentially harmful foreign material while avoiding damage to self tissue. It is called autoimmunity. And autoimmune disease is different. It is the essential feature of an autoimmune disease is that tissue injury is caused by the immunological reaction of the organism against its own tissue. So you should know what is the autoimmunity and what is autoimmune disease. These two are different. Autoimmunity, it refers merely to the presence of antibodies or T lymphocytes that reacts with self antigens and does not necessarily imply that the self reactivity has pathologic consequences. And autoimmunity is present in almost all individuals. While autoimmune disease is different, in this tissue injury is caused by immunologic reactions of the organism against its own tissue. Autoimmune disease occurs only in those individuals in whom the breakdown of the basic mechanism regulating immune tolerance results in self reactivity that can cause the tissue damage in the body. This is the mechanism of autoimmune disease. These two factors are commonly present: genetic factors and environmental factors. Genetic factors includes MCH genes, non-MCH genes, MSC genes, complements, and drugs, infections and toxins. It results into breakage of immune tolerance to self antigens, unregulated immune activation and tissue damage, which results in autoimmune disease with activation of autoreactive T cells and B cells. What is the mechanism of tissue injury in autoimmune disease? These are of two types. First is antibody mediated and second is cell mediated process. In antibody mediated, these are the mechanisms. First is blocking or inactivation, second is stimulation, third complement activation, fourth immune complex formation, fifth opsonization, and sixth is antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity. These are the mechanisms by which autoantibody results in autoimmune disease. First is blocking or inactivation. In this pathway, the target example of this pathway is myasthenia gravis, in which the target is alpha chain nicotinic acetylcholine receptors. By blocking it, this mechanism results in myasthenia gravis. Second is phospholipid beta 2 glycoprotein 1 complex, which results into antiphospholipid syndrome, insulin resistant diabetes mellitus by blocking insulin receptors, and pernicious anemia by blocking intrinsic factors. This is the mechanism of autoimmunity in myasthenia gravis. That is the normal. This is the normal pathway in which there is no antibodies. That's why there is contraction in the muscles by attaching acetylcholine to its receptor. While in myasthenia gravis, there is antibodies are present. In this, these antibodies attached to the receptors, and it leads to the blockage of this pathway and results into paralysis of the muscles. Next is second mechanism is stimulation. By stimulation of these receptors, it leads into the many types of diseases. First is TSH receptor, which results in Graves' disease, granulomatosis with polyangiitis by proteinase 3, and pemphigus vulgaris by epidermal cadherin and desmoglein. Third, stimulation. In Graves' disease, there is production of thyroid hormones, which is regulated by thyroid stimulating hormones. The binding of TSH to a receptor on thyroid cells activate adenylate cyclase and stimulates the synthesis of two thyroid hormones. First is thyroxine and second is triiodothyronine. A person with Graves' disease makes autoantibodies to the receptor. These are the autoantibodies for TSH. The binding of these autoantibodies to the receptor mimics the normal action of TSH without the regulation. In this, there is no negative feedback of the pathway. That's why there is overstimulation of the thyroid and results into long acting thyroid stimulation, and it is Graves' disease. Autoantibodies can also interfere with normal physiologic function of the cells. Autoantibodies to hormones receptors can lead to stimulation of cells or to inhibition of cell function through interference with receptor signaling. Next pathway is complement activation. Example of this is Goodpasser syndrome and target is alpha 3 chain of collagen 4. Fourth pathway is immune complex formation. Example of it is systemic lupus erythematosus and second is rheumatoid arthritis. Next is by opsonization. Example of it is autoimmune thrombocytopenic purpura and the target is platelet GP2B3A inhibitor, 3A receptor. And in autoimmune hemolytic anemia, the target is Rh antigen and 1 antigen. This is the autoimmune hemolytic anemia. There is opsonization of the RBCs, results into hemolysis of the cells, which results into release of spirocytes in the blood. It is autoimmune hemolytic anemia. These are autoantibodies to RBCs. It attaches to RBCs and complement activation results into opsonization of the cells and phagocytosis and destruction of RBCs. Means there is hemolysis by this pathway results into autoimmune hemolytic anemia. Next mechanism is antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity. Example of this is Hashimoto's thyroiditis and target for it is thyroid peroxidase and thyroglobulin, in which this is the Graves' disease. There is stimulation of the thyroid cells by TSH receptors, which is antibody looks like TSH, thyroid stimulating hormones, and it stimulates the thyroid cells, results in hyperthyroidism. While in Hashimoto's thyroiditis there is autoreactive apoptosis of the cells, results into thyroid cell death, and it further leads to hypothyroidism. That's why in Graves' disease there is hyperthyroidism, while in Hashimoto's thyroiditis there is hypothyroidism due to apoptosis or necrosis of the thyroid cells due to autoantibodies. Next is cell mediated T cells. First we have studied about B cell mediated, antibody mediated, and next is T cell mediated mechanism. These are the two mechanisms. First is cytokine production, second is cellular cytotoxicity. Target of these is unknown. Cytokine production, examples of it is rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and type 1 diabetes mellitus. For cellular cytotoxicity, target is unknown. In example is type 1 diabetes mellitus. Next we will learn about genetic basis of autoimmune disease. What is the genetic basis of autoimmune disease? Why it occurs in some individuals while it doesn't occur in another individuals. Genetic basis of autoimmunity, it is mostly complex polygenic, genome-wide association studies, linkage analysis in families, and interbreeding studies in animals have revealed some of the common variations of genes that may contribute to different autoimmune disease. Three main group of genes are involved in the autoimmunity. First is association of MHC alleles with autoimmunity, polymorphism in non-HLA genes, and inherited single gene abnormalities. Evidence in humans that there are susceptibility genes for autoimmunity comes from family studies and especially from studies of twins. Studies in type 1 diabetes mellitus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and SLE have shown that 15 to 30% of pairs of monozygotic twins shows disease concordance, whereas the figure is less than 5% for dizygotic twins. Genome-wide, the occurrence of different autoimmune disease within the same family has suggested that certain susceptibility genes may predispose to a variety of autoimmune disease. What is polymorphism? Genome-wide association studies identified polymorphism in individual genes that are associated with specific autoimmune disease. More than 50 genetic polymorphism associated with one or more autoimmune disease have been identified to date. Some genes are associated with multiple autoimmune disease, whereas others are specifically associated with only one autoimmune disease conditions. There are clusters of genetic risk factors. Recent genetic evidence suggests that clusters of genetic risk factors can commonly be found in group of autoimmune disease. 4 general clusters have been identified. First cluster is of 6 genetic polymorphism. Example of it is Crohn's disease, psoriasis, and multiple sclerosis. Second is for 8 polymorphism, and example is celiac disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and SLE. Third for 7 polymorphism, Example are type 1 diabetes mellitus, multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis. Fourth is for more than 12 polymorphism. Examples are type 1 diabetes mellitus, rheumatoid arthritis, celiac disease, Crohn's disease and systemic lupus erythematosus. Autoimmune disease with widely different clinical presentation and pattern of organ involvement could involve similar immunopathogenic pathways. And what is single gene abnormality? In recent years, genome-wide association studies have demonstrated a variety of other genes that are involved in human autoimmune disease. Most genes individually confers a relatively low risk for autoimmune disease and are found in normal individuals. No genes has been identified that is essential for autoimmune disease. What are the MHC alleles? The strongest consistent association for susceptibility to autoimmune disease is with particular MHC alleles. It has been suggested that the association of MHC genotype with autoimmune disease relates to differences in the ability of different allelic variations of MHC molecules to present autoantigen peptides to autoreactive cells. Specific MHC genes products may themselves be the source of peptides that can be recognized by T cells. Cross-reactivity between such MHC peptides and peptides derived from proteins produced by common microbes may trigger autoimmunity by molecular mimicry. However, MHC genotype alone does not determine the development of autoimmunity. Identical twins are far more likely to develop the same autoimmune disease than MHC identical non-twin siblings. This observation suggests that genetic factors other than the MHC affects disease susceptibility. These are the genetic factors involved in the autoimmunity: gene mutations, HLA, GWAS and epigenetic. These are the pathways: acetylation, methylation, ubiquination, sumoylation and phosphorylations. There is direct or indirect effect of these pathways results into innate or adaptive immune response by T cells, B cells affected by environmental factors and results into breach of tolerance and results in autoimmunity. Thank you.